Hey, Mind Wanderers. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Look who I have here.
Woo-woo.
The one and only Jeannie Berger. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
This is my beloved.
Hi, guys.
My partner in crime.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, Charles. Welcome. Welcome to another IGTV Live with yours truly. My name is Sam Led. I am a life strategist and trauma coach based out of beautiful Santa Barbara, California. And it is an honor and a privilege to have my beloved, my partner here, Jeannie Berger, another solopreneur, successful business coach, creative, graphic designer, web designer extraordinaire. And since we're talking, and I've always wanted to talk about our insecurities, and we're going to jump right into it tonight. I want to talk to you, which is perfect because
it's happy hour over here too.
It's happy hour over here too. But being in relationship, relationships aren't easy. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of luck. It takes a big sense of humor. What is that, Charles? Well, I don't know what that means, man. I'm sorry you're upset, NBN. Okay, but I'm glad you're with us. It's an honor for you to be with us.
Yes.
And it's an honor to do this for all of you every week. This is my life's work. I love being of service to you in the nosebleed seats. So I want to talk about insecure thinking. We all have it.
Must be nice. You just taught us something, Charles.
Why don't you elaborate?
On what?
I don't know. You said must be nice.
No, MBN.
Oh.
Must be nice. It's a little
okay.
text.
Bear with me, everybody. I'm a little slow on the uptake. It's Monday. But I want to talk to all of you about insecure thinking, because we all have insecure thinking. And if we leave it unchecked, if we allow our humanness, who we are as human beings, perfectly imperfect human beings, for it to get the best of us, our insecure thinking can collude and wreak havoc in our romantic relationships, right, honey?
Yeah.
In our professional relationships, and the decisions that we make in our day-to-day lives. So I wanted to share a story with all of you, we both do, about lessons that both of us have learned as being in a partnership, in a couple, in a love relationship.
And also just being conscious on the path, and always, for me, it's always investigating when something's not working in my life and I'm feeling either dissatisfied or angry or kind of negative emotion. I always look within, because the answers are always within, never without. So just being on a conscious path is something that, bringing our as Sam says, being a custodian of our thoughts is just always on our mind and always in the forefront.
Yes. Very well said. She says it a lot better than I do.
So it's in all aspects of our life.
Yes. Well, hey, Linda.
Linda
from Indonesia. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Linda.
Linda, this is my beloved, my partner, Jeannie.
I love that you join every week, and I love Indonesia. Oh my God, I was there last year. Absolutely amazing.
You were in Bali.
I was in Bali.
Ubud. Yes. Very magical place. So, insecure thinking. Think about times in your life or times in your day, because we all have insecure thoughts. I would say 90% of our thoughts are insecure. Would you say 90%? I would say the 10% are worth something.
Yeah.
Through the evolutionary design of us being human beings, we have this ego. This ego is designed to protect us. But a lot of times the ego is overreaching, and it can collude a lot of things in our life. But I wanted to sort of share my story about, for both of us, when we have insecure thoughts. Oh, thank you.
We love you too.
We both, in relationships especially, we can jump to conclusions and let those insecure thoughts ruin our relationships.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes.
It's if we believe them.
Right. That's right.
We believe these insecure thoughts that are going on in our head. But, a lot of times Sam and I, when each one of us has a different opinion about something, and we're not being a custodian of our thoughts, and we're not being really mindful of how, like, what are we thinking right now to be reactive? And, you know, we can get into arguments, and that's, you know, ego, and that's our thoughts, and nothing going on. Like, you know,
there's
a lot of times Sam tells me, he's like, there's no problem here. And I'm like, there is a problem.
Yes.
Because it feels like there's a problem. Because, look, when we have insecure thoughts, our body starts lighting up with, like, all these signs of, you know, stay away. Like, it's kind of like telling you to run or to get you safe. But really, and then we believe that that's really what's going on and that's the truth. But really, we're just having insecure thinking in the moment.
Right.
And there's really nothing going on. And, I mean, unless, and I always say this, unless someone's coming at you with a knife,
right,
then there's something going on.
Right.
But literally, a lot of times I feel like there's this huge thing going on and Sam's just standing there.
Sometimes it's just all my fault.
He's going
it's
back
just,
and forth
exactly.
in his own, you know,
right.
spiral. But
because we create our own stories based on judgments that, you know, we believe based on, you know, how we were raised. You know, we create these kind of mental maps of how we see the world and how it's been influenced from our family and from how we've been kind of raised as, you know, growing up, and that all those different variables play a role in how we see the world. And especially in relationships, romantic relationships especially, you know, we can have these moments when we feel so insecure, that we feel we're being challenged, that we feel like our inner core is being disrupted. And in reality, they're just thoughts. They're just thoughts. Hello, Antonio. Welcome.
Hi, Antonio, and hi, Sheladan.
Hello, Sheladan. Welcome. This is cool. I like this.
I know, I like this too.
You know, and it's interesting, like, especially when it comes to how we perceive others, how we perceive, especially our beloved, our partners, people that you love, whether it's your family members or your spouse or your romantic partners, is that we see them through our own lens. Friends, yes. We see them through our own perceptual lens, but they see us through a completely different lens. And those two lenses get out of focus, and then we're like, oh, that's not nice, but they didn't really mean it that way, or vice versa. And it causes this whole chain reaction, and if you're not careful, those thoughts, 99% of those thoughts don't mean anything. It's just insecure noise. They're artifacts from old trauma, they're artifacts from bad relationships in the past.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
I absolutely agree. And, you know, for me, I know I have this awareness. I'm very conscious of, right, like sitting here now, it all makes sense. But when I'm activated and I'm triggered, kind of all of this stuff goes out the window.
Yes. Right.
Right? All of it goes out the window, no matter how conscious I am. What if the woman you love,
well,
everyone does?
Yes. So tell me more about that, Antonio. We're putting you in the spotlight instead of us. We're here of service to you guys.
Yeah.
You know, and it's tough, especially, you know, because we all have this protective mechanism that, you know, especially if you've experienced trauma, when you've had difficult things happen in your life, you know, we put our walls up. And when someone who loves you unconditionally, you know, will say something to challenge your security, even though they don't really mean it, they're in the moment, or vice versa, our force field goes up, and our ego turns on and says, "Uh-oh, turn on the force field, put the maximum shields on. This is a potential danger." But it isn't. It isn't. And part of being in a relationship is trusting the other person, anyways.
Yeah, and you know, so what I was saying earlier was when you are activated, right, and all the tools are out the window. One simple way is just to, like, when you're activated, just say to yourself, I'm just having insecure thinking right now, and there's nothing I need to do. Because ultimately, we're not here to fix it or make it better. It's just to acknowledge that I'm in insecure thinking. Yeah. That helps right there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be this whole big, like, to do and processing it or whatever. Just when you are caught up in your own, as Sam says, mishigas.
Mishigas. Right.
if you can just do the one thing of just stopping and going, oh, you know what, I'm having insecure thinking right now, or oh, you know what, I'm in a low mood right now, therefore I'm just, being reactive, or oh, I'm feeling a lot of trauma or a lot of fear right now, let me just be with that. It doesn't have to be fixed, or our partner doesn't have to fix it. Just start getting present to the moment, right? It's like, get to the present moment,
and that takes work. And it's kind of like going to the gym every day and working out your muscles, right? You go to the gym once, you're not going to see results. But if you practice being really self-aware of your thoughts, and this applies to every area of your life, not just romantic relationships, because we all come into this world with a package of good and bad things. We all have our quirks. We all have our quirks and features, right? We're going to read the comment. Antonio, and then wait.
Hi, HP Nick.
Hi, HP Nick. We are twin flames, so everyone is attracted to the light. And then bloggers start putting thoughts in the universe. Well, interesting, because I was just watching something about that, especially when it comes to people that are blogging, they're trying to get a reaction. They're trying to get a reaction out of people. Especially in negativity, we become addicted to our own negativity. We become addicted to our own insecure thoughts. Mm-hmm. It's a neurochemical thing, man. It really is. And when we get stuck in those negative or insecure thoughts that have nothing really to do with our partner, or have nothing to really do with our friend, have nothing to really do with a family member. I'm going to give you an example. I'm very close to my family, and they're important to me, just like Jeannie is close to her family that she loves. And a family member, I sent a message, wishing them love and safe trip and all this. I didn't hear back from them. A week went by, and I knew what they were doing, and I felt like, oh, this person, is not thinking about me, is thinking just about themselves, and they're self-involved, and they're not, they're just focused on themselves, and it kind of snowballed, and I'm like, and I caught myself. I'm like, holy shit, I'm doing it. I'm having insecure thoughts, and then today, I think
I brought that up.
Oh, you brought that up.
I'll take a little credit because he comes charging at me with all the energy, and I'm like, hey, buddy, let's look at your thoughts here.
But and that's your brilliance and your insight, and so yes. Wait, I'm reading Antonio. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna. Can I scroll down to this? Okay. Have been together 6 to 10 years. Sure.
Energetically,
many lifetimes. But we've both, thankfully, have really worked on ourselves, and it's been a lot of hard work.
Well, before we met, we've been working on ourselves and have been in great relationships and really bad relationships. Yes. So, Sam and I were just we were in school. When we met, we were just on the same page, and we were ready to do the work, right? Because look, relationships are not easy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we all are sold.
We're gonna make them throw up.
But relationships aren't easy because what relationship does is it's a mirror. It's a mirror to all of our trauma, all of our insecurities, everything that is our shadow side gets brought up in relationship. And I know for me in the past, the first 6 months of a relationship is like the honeymoon period. And then once all the stuff started coming up and I started getting triggered and I didn't know what to do with it all, and I wasn't, I guess, ready to deal with it or to confront my, what it was? I wasn't ready to confront my own shadow side. I would run. And then, there we go, problem solved. But, so really deep partnership and relationship, and that's what Sam and I had, because we were both ready to meet our shadow and do the work together and be that loving container for us to freak out and be in our trauma
and hold space for that stuff that's not always puppy dogs and ice cream, and that really is the litmus test for any relationship, is that You know, if I met you maybe 15 years ago,
Oh, no,
it would have been like one and done. There would be no. It wouldn't be like this. But we had the opportunity, to be in relationships with others, and to, see our dark side, and we all have that polarity, and to understand that the polarity is okay. It's okay to have it. But to be self-aware of that polarity and to say, you know what, I'm going to have insecure thoughts. I'm going to feel uncomfortable. But when you can share that with a partner, you know it's the right one. Right? I mean, I think every couple who has done the work, and I'm not tooting my own horn, and neither is Jeannie. We've had some horrible, we've had some heartbreak and grief, and we've done that. And I think that the blessing out of all that hard work to sort of navigate through the darkness of having our heart broken and having and grieving and all that stuff is seeing the gifts in that through the insecurities that other relationships have triggered within us, and then to present it and say, here, this is my suitcase of insecurities. Here you go.
Slowly reveal the suitcase of insecurities.
And then Jeannie's like, I don't know if I'm doing
Well, I get scared, and Sam,
and then we both we scare the shit out of each other. But then we step back and like, wait, that's the gobbledygook in our head.
Those are the thoughts. Those are the fear thoughts, which isn't the truth, because the truth is always what lights us up. The truth is what brings us joy. The truth is what brings us creativity, what brings us inspiration. And when we're in that's our truth. That's our well-being.
Well, that's who you really are.
Like our natural state. So when we are in our mishigas and we are fighting, for me, what has helped is to trust that our well-being of myself, my well-being first, is going to come back to balance. Then the well-being of Sam is going to come back to balance, and then the well-being of our relationship is going to come back to balance. Amen. And if, when I practice all three of those in conjunction, that's how we get through things, and that's how relationships and couples get through things. It's not always pretty, but it gets easier and easier too. Like, we don't fall in the same holes as we used to.
No,
but new holes open up, right? So
well, that's the thing, and that's the brilliance of the and through the evolution of mature relationships. I'm going to read Antonio's. Your guys are twin flames that have been together for a long time. That's not fair. I'm native. But yes. Well, that's a gift to be an empath. That's a blessing. Yeah, can I, Antonio? Can I answer your? I'm not sure. Is this someone who's you're either partnered with or have recently split with? I don't know if he's still on, but that's really interesting because Jeannie and I and the insecure thoughts, I think, are really amplified when you have two sensitive people that are partnered.
It's hard when you're awake and the other person isn't.
Yeah.
It's absolutely very, very hard. And we can't expect anybody to awake to our level if they're not ready.
Right. And there are soulmate connections, there's twin flame connections, and the twin flame connection is very powerful. And sometimes there's a runner, and sometimes there's the chaser.
Always, I think, in
is it in twin flame connections?
So.
There are also soul connections, and sometimes soul connections can be fleeting moments, or they can be a lifetime. So, I think that what we're talking about, these insecure thoughts, behind all that is feeling the loss of control. Because control, especially human beings, we all want to have control over our relationship.
Oh yeah. I'm right.
Of our relationship.
Control, right there. Control.
Of our career, of our finances, in every aspect of our life.
Yeah.
And having agency over that feeling that's connected to that thought, because it's just thought. But when you can really see the difference between those two paradigms, and really usher in the light through the insecure thoughts, just what do? They just go, they just kind of like dissipate into the ether, and then they're no more. I'm reading this. This is really interesting. Something about Jesus Christ. So, for you guys, what if you felt or thought that you were the resurrection of Jesus Christ? Wow. Well, listen, it is just past Easter, and I think Jesus was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant human who was also a person of service, who was a teacher and a leader and a guide. And we know we all have Christ consciousness. Those of us that really tap into the light, tap into the light that we all have, and the polarity, and actually also being really respecting the polarity that we all have, the yin and the yang. So I think the light and the dark, and what someone who has Christ, I think that's what you're talking about, maybe. Christ consciousness is seeing the polarity in all of us, and those insecure thoughts is the polarity, and when we're able to kind of really look deep and say, I love this person, I love this, I'm in this to win this. That I love you and that I respect you, that you're gonna make me feel insecure and I'm gonna make you feel insecure, the better off you are.
Yeah.
And again, it's taking that deep dive and really looking at our insecurities and really seeing that the ego, when you have real agency over the ego to the best of your ability, the insecure thoughts won't collude not only your romantic relationships but your all areas of your life. I mean, maybe if you want to speak on your Jeannie is a solopreneur, and I think that, would you agree that those insecure thoughts that you have on a daily basis,
every day, again, it's just coming back to being present with them, and it's like just identifying that I'm just having insecure thoughts right now. And just let that be that.
That's it.
And just calm your nervous system down. And, it's like, what I say is like, I'm just having insecure thoughts right now, period. Right? Because when I have to do the period, there's no drama attached to it. There's no story I'm making up after it. There's nothing else except the simplicity of my thoughts are just insecure. I'm in a low mood. So right now isn't the time to create. It's not the time to talk to my partner about something. And, it's like giving ourselves a space to shift out of that mood. And then whatever it is that is in front of us that we need to address, you address it from this higher state of being, which is our well-being.
And it's who you really are.
Yeah.
It's who you really are beyond.
When we can master that, it's like...
And there's no, and you know what? There's no mastering, really. I mean, there is really just understanding that you guys are all walking around with this light within you, and that's it's idealistic, and in the real world, it is.
Our well-being is always within us.
That's right. And thank you so much, HP Nick. I think we've said a lot tonight.
We have.
Oh my God, we did it!
Our first IGTV live together.
I'm going to just read Antonio's before we conclude, because I want to give him some space here to. She gets blinded by the fame and money, not reaching to her soul and her being person. Those are insecure. That's an insecure thought. Mm-hmm. That's and I think, Antonio, it sounds like you are someone who understands the construct of insecure thoughts, and just through patience and through a sense of humor, and showing her the light within her, through your own goodness. Through your own patience,
and also just loving and believing in yourself that you are enough.
Well, that's the whole ballgame, right there.
Yeah, and just trusting that all relationships that come on our path, whether they last a small time or a long time, they're the exact amount of time, and they have the exact wisdom that is perfect for your journey in this humanness.
That's right.
Yeah,
and it's all about humanness.
Trust and know who you are, and just live in your well-being, and live in the knowing that you are okay, you're well, you're strong, and you're
Amen.
Perfect, whole and complete,
right?
then everything else will fall as it should.
That's right, and that's where you just let go of control and just allowing things to unfold the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And with that, I want to think. Go ahead.
I'm saying, just shine your light.
Shine your light.
Yeah.
As you do every day.
Yeah. You too.
It's very easy.
Mm.
It's very easy for you.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna.
All right. Have a beautiful evening.
Yes, thank you.
God bless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you next week. Another IGTV Live. We're gonna take another deep dive. I hope this has been helpful. You can reach me if you're interested in my work and what I do. Go to my website and be more than happy to have a conversation about kind of my process and how I help my clients. It'd be an honor and a privilege to work with all of you. My website's www.solutionist180.com, or you can DM me on Instagram and we'll set up a time to connect. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.